Stupidly expensive things NFL legends own.
The NFL provides players in their early 20s to become millionaires overnight. While some players are responsible with the money and use it to carry on wealth for generations, others have a lot more fun with their money and make some extremely large purchases. Today, we will break down some stupidly expensive things that NFL legends own. The first NFL legend on this list made two big purchases throughout his incredible professional career. 1. Chad Ochocinco's semi-truck and pet tiger. Chad Ochocinco was one of the most entertaining players of his era. He had some of the most outlandish touchdown celebrations in the history of the game, and this flashiness did not stop once the game was over. Despite Ochocinco being well known for being frugal in his food choices and being an advocate for McDonald's, he would splurge with two purchases he made during his time in the NFL. One of the purchases was a custom-built semi-truck. Ochocinco bought this monster of a vehicle as a birthday gift to himself when he turned 32. The truck took 6 months to build, and it came with a pickup bed, roll bar, lights, a similar roof to a big rig with air horns included, and an Ochocinco badge. The truck allegedly cost Ochocinco well over $100,000. The second purchase was not nearly as much as the truck. However, it still cost the star wide receiver a pretty penny for a pet. He would spend 10 of his 11-year NFL career playing for the Cincinnati Bengals. Apparently, during that time, Ochocinco became a big fan of the mascot, and he bought a tiger of his own in 2011. Although this purchase is pocket change compared to his semi, the average tiger cub costs around $7,500. Up next is a player whose purchase would go on to get him and other NFL players in a lot of trouble and cause one of the biggest controversies in NFL history. 2. Fred Smoot's cruise ship. When Fred Smoot signed a deal in free agency to join the Minnesota Vikings, he did not waste any time celebrating. He rented two boats for one night that would go on to be deemed the love boat of the Minnesota Vikings. For only one night of the fateful party, Smoot would pay $80,000 to throw a party for the Vikings rookies during the bye week, and he definitely threw a party to remember. The gusset list included Daunte Culpepper, Bryant McKinnie, Nate Burleson, Mule Moore, Pat Williams, Ralph Brown, Jermaine Wiggins, Troy Williamson, Travis Taylor, Kevin Williams, Lance Johnstone, Mo Williams, and Willie Alford. Allegedly, 17 players in total were involved in the party. Along with the boats, Smoot would shell out some cash for strippers, and things would turn X-rated quickly. While we cannot talk about any of that on YouTube, one woman who lived on the lake would end up calling the police after she saw multiple Vikings players urinating on her lawn. When everything was all said and done, only 3 players, Smoot, McKinnie, and Williams, would receive small fines, and all pled guilty to misdemeanor charges of disturbing the peace. After the fact, Smoot was quoted as saying, "We were a group of 20-year-olds with millions of dollars in our pockets. What do you expect guys to do? They're going to have fun, and they're going to find a little trouble." Today, you can pay to take a ride on one of the boats that were used in this scandal. However, Smoot had some advice to anyone who took a ride on the boat, saying, "If you ever get on this boat, please don't turn on the block light. Please." What if I told you that one NFL player would go on to spend most of his career earnings at a restaurant? 3. Vince Young's Cheesecake Factory infatuation. Vince Young was the 3rd overall pick in the 2006 NFL Draft after an incredible collegiate career with the Texas Longhorns. In his 6 seasons in the NFL, he was named the Rookie of the Year in 2006 and made the Pro Bowl twice. However, almost as interesting as his elite dual threat play at the quarterback position was his off-the-field spending habits. A good chunk of the money that Vince Young made in the league went to his infatuation with the Cheesecake Factory. Allegedly, Young would spend $5,000 per week on average at the restaurant, and on one visit, he would drop $15,000. While the Cheesecake Factory is not a cheap place to eat by any means, running up that large of a tab on such a regular basis is insane. What if I told you an NFL legend once paid $60,000 for a piece of their own memorabilia? 4. Tom Brady's historic touchdown ball. Tom Brady is the greatest player that the NFL has ever seen. He would go on to hold almost every passing record and has more Super Bowls than most franchises in the league. Despite Brady being a part of so many pieces of NFL history, he still obviously is very attached to every milestone he hit. He proved this when he put together a massive trade package to get back his 600th passing touchdown ball. Brady would set the mark of 600 career passing touchdowns on a dime to Mike Evans. However, Evans would then hand the ball to a fan, not realizing that it was a piece of history. Byron Kennedy was the fan who would end up with the ball, and Brady would find a way to track him down and give him an offer that he could not refuse to get the ball back. Kennedy would receive 2 signed Tom Brady jerseys, one saying "Go Bucks" and another one saying, "Byron, can't thank you enough, you're the man." Along with the jerseys, he would also receive a helmet from Brady, a signed Mike Evans jersey and the cleats that he wore during the game, $1,000 in credit to the Buccaneers team store, 2 season tickets for the remainder of the 2021 season and all of the 2022 season, $60,000 in Bitcoin from Brady, and an additional $30,000 in crypto from Rob Gronkowski. While Brady and the Buccaneers did everything that they could to do right by the fan, there is a chance that Kennedy would have ended up making more money by holding onto the ball that is currently valued at $500,000. However, the package that he received would be priceless for any longtime Bucs or Brady fan. Up next is one of the nicest houses that an NFL player has ever owned. 5. Russell Wilson's mansion in Denver. Russell Wilson and his wife Ciara are one of the NFL's biggest power couples. Wilson put together a very successful career that he continues to build upon in football, while his wife is a very popular singer. The two used their combined wealth to purchase a super mansion in Denver after Wilson was traded to the Broncos. Their mansion is located in Cherry Hills Village, and many have speculated that they spent $25 million for the house. The mansion sits on 5.34 acres of land and is 20,000 square feet. It also features 4 bedrooms, 7 full bathrooms, and 5 half bathrooms. Along with this, there is a 1-bedroom and 1-bathroom apartment above their garage. Shortly after joining the Broncos, Wilson signed a 7-year, $296 million deal with the team, making the home well within his family's price range, especially when taking into account the added wealth of Ciara. The final entry on the list is a ridiculously large purchase from one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. 6. Aaron Rodgers' minority stake in the Milwaukee Bucks. Aaron Rodgers is one of the greatest quarterbacks the league has ever seen, and despite recently leaving the team, will go down as a Green Bay Packers legend. He would spend 18 years with the team and 15 seasons as their starting quarterback. During that stretch, he would bring the franchise a Super Bowl and would only have 3 losing seasons as a starter. Rodgers was dedicated to the city and the state of Wisconsin as a whole. He proved this with his massive investment in the state's Major League Basketball team, the Milwaukee Bucks. While Rodgers refused to state how much he paid for his 1% stake in the team, it was speculated that he chipped in $5.5 million for his piece of the franchise after Edens and Lazary bought the franchise for $550 million in 2014. Since then, the Bucks have become one of the top teams in the NBA with the rise of Giannis Antetokounmpo. While this was an extremely smart investment by Rodgers, he forked up an insane amount of money to be a part of the ownership group.